This is a remembrance for some of our dancers that are not here with us anymore. And first of all, I want to say blessings be to the Almighty for bringing us all together here and for keeping those friends of ours spirits safe and up. So we are going to do some remembering today. We're going to remember some wonderful dancers, and this is not the last episode. This is just the first. So I know there's many of you out there going, don't forget so and so. So we're not going to forget the so and so's. We're going to keep going. This is just our first remembrance, and we would hope that when our passing comes, somebody would do something nice like this for us. All right. So the first person that we're going to remember is a wonderful gentleman by the name of Skeeter Rabbit. And we want to invite Flow Master to speak on him just a little bit and give us a little bit of information and maybe some things that we didn't know, maybe some things we did know about Skeeter Rabbit. Hey, Flo, how you doing, Holmes?
I am doing good, sweetie. Thank you. How are you doing?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
All right. So you
Yeah.
know what we're speaking of.
Yep.
All
Man,
right.
Skeeter Rabbit, if anybody doesn't know who Skeeter Rabbit is, he had a beautiful soul, but he
Yes,
also
sir.
had demons too, because he had another life before he got into dance life. That was the gang life. And
Absolutely.
dancing saved him. And I remember when I met Skeet, I was scared of him. Cause
Oh,
I was scared because I heard stories. I heard stories
right,
about Skeet. But when
right.
you meet Skeet and he loves you, he's like a big teddy bear, man. It's like he's an incredible person. Once he gets to know you, he has your back. He was like my bodyguard, like incredible person. Off. See, I
Brother.
always tell people always look at dancers and say that dancer is incredible. But to me, what makes a dancer incredible is out of the circle when they're not dancing. And Skeeter Rabbit by far was an incredible human being. He's always looking after everybody.
Thank you, Flo, for saying that. And as well, I did not get a chance, unfortunately, to work with Skeet, but we did get invited to South Africa. I want to tell this story because nobody knows. We got invited to South Africa, and we both got received a 3-page handwritten letter from a representative in South Africa for he and I to come. They had described that Skeeter Rabbit and myself were like the perfect match because we had balanced skills and we would look great together and all this wonderful things. But at that time, it wasn't safe. I was a little younger, and kids were straight out getting over there and getting their passports lost. So Skeet and I both decided not to do the gig and not to go. But that was the closest that I came to working with him. But I have seen him, in around and about. But yes, he was a very beautiful brother and he shined bright. And I like it because he shined bright for the people that didn't think that they were going to be a professional anything. He shined bright for the kids in the hood, you know what I'm saying, for the real street. And, he represented, and I love that about him.
the, my story with Skeet, my favorite story that I always tell people about Skeet, me, Skeet, Pete, and my partner Wicked, we went to Japan and we did a thing called old school night, old school dictionary, where we teaching lock in and all that. So they had me and Wicked up there teaching the breaking, but they just kept having us going over and over and over.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Skeet, in the middle of us talking and trying to get it on tape, he was like, "Yo, Wicked, Flo, are y'all tired?" I said, "Skeet, we okay?" And Skeet said, "If any
Oh,
of them get hurt, I'm tearing all them cameras down." All them Japanese looked at us and said, "Y'all go take a break. Y'all go take a break."
right, right. Because he ain't playing. He
No,
ain't.
no. But he always looked after everybody. Even when you not looking after yourself, he's always behind you, like, "Don't worry about it. I got your back."
Like a big
Always.
brother, for
Yes.
real, like a big bro.
Really big.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, he was a very tall person, when it comes to dancing, but his body was so fluid. You would think that he was just, made out of rubber because he could do just about anything. And I,
The
to
boy
this
can.
day, don't know anybody that's just as well rounded as him in every technique,
Mm-hmm.
locking, popping, a little bit of whacking. I mean, just anything he can morph right into it without a hesitation. And to me, one of the greatest out
100%.
there to this day. Yep, absolutely. All
100%.
right. So, is there anything else that you can say for our beloved in representation of him, for the young people coming up to know about him when
I
they're watching.
The thing I love about Skeet, and I tell the young people, always be humble. Never think that you're a master. The master is the first person that gets killed in a martial art movie, and the student always come back to revenge the thing. When you become a master, and if you think you're a master, you stop growing. Always stay a student, and you will keep growing. And that's the one thing I learned from Greg Camelot Jr. and Skeeter Rabbit.
Absolutely. Ooh, God bless that statement
Yeah,
because it is true. If you
yeah,
use yourself, to compete with, then you're on top of the world, because otherwise you'll be chasing dreams, empty dreams at
yes,
that.
ma'am. Yes,
Yep.
hundred
Well,
percent.
Flo,
So
and it is so good to see your face after
thank
all
you.
these, and the things we've done together. I can't even remember because it's been so
So
long.
long.
But brother,
Yes,
you're looking great. You're keeping
thank
in,
you.
in good shape, and it's a pleasure to see you. And thank you so much for your kind words,
Thank you
brother.
for
And we're
having me on.
all right, sweetheart. We're
Bye.
going to move on to the next representative. Love you. Mwah.
Mwah.
Peace out, babe. All right. Right. The only one. There we go. Yes. Yeah. That thing, one spot was it was like a moment in time. Yeah. You're
When we had our reunion for the Palace Dancers,
yeah.
it was so good seeing Kat after 30 years, and the fact we got a chance to tell her we love her.
Yeah.
We got a chance to tell her, and that was very special to me to see Kat all these
Right.
and gotta say how much we miss her, us, and how much we. So that memory of her together will always be a memory that I got a chance to tell her how much I loved her.
Yeah, we
Right.
all did. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm getting misty over here. I got my tissues and stuff, and I got my shades just in case my eyes get puffy. But guess what? She was going to be on this show, you guys, and I was waiting on her time frame. We had already talked on the phone, and we communicated via text, and I was waiting on her time. She goes, "Yeah, let me just look at my schedule and give you a time." She was supposed to surprise. She was our surprise guest for Flame and Constance. I was trying to get Flame and Constance and myself and
Oh
Kat,
no.
and she was responding to me, and I didn't hear from her. And I said, she ain't flaky, so I don't know what, But then I heard something, and I said, no, don't tell me that. And I called, and when her daughter picked up, I just, I kind of lost it. You know what I mean? Because she was not only a friend, but I mean, I looked up to her. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we all looked up to her. We all looked up to each other. You know what I mean? But she was
She was an inspiration. Yeah.
there's nobody like real. I mean, down to earth and real. I mean, she kept it
Yeah,
totally.
real. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why Prince liked her so much. He would
I
go
done
off.
Right.
seen
So Tony Basil invited them out to LA, and they came out, and then Tony Basil brought Kat down to the Rhythm Lounge, and they say this is the biggest night at the Rhythm Lounge ever. And there was all these dances going on in the middle of the circle.
Hmm.
Anyway, crazy night, bro. And Anna and Dallas were battling right in
Oh,
the
I
middle
would
of the
love to
circle,
see that. Woo,
and Tony Basil pushed Kat into the circle.
woo,
And Kat,
yes,
she went whack, whack, whack. She and she
she
did the
did.
cat. Listen, she did the cat scat. No one had ever seen it before.
Right,
And you
right.
know, black people, right? The whole
Mhm.
place went rah, and
Yeah, yeah.
everybody ran out of the room and then back in the room. It was incredible. The place emptied and then it filled back up because nobody could believe what she just
Right,
did.
right, right.
And I'm telling you, for the next several months, Dallas was practicing that move. Dallas was like, "Oh, I got to get funky now." You know what I mean? So she was very technical.
Oh.
And Kat, if you ask me, Kat drove Dallas to her evolution as a
Ooh,
dancer. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and but this night was very phenomenal because that was the night after that happened. The circle started again, and Curtis pushed his girlfriend into the circle. Now she's a jazz dancer who only learned whacking and punking in Vegas, Vegas style.
Wow.
And for
Right.
some reason, she did the wrist roll up to Shabadoo, and she
Uh-huh.
whacked around him right or whatever, and backed up.
Yeah.
And Shabadoo said, "What?" So Shabadoo got in
Right.
position, and he went up to her, and he just wrist roll, boom, boom, and he
Right.
smacked her. He slapped her, forehanded. Then he backhanded her, dipped
No.
her, right, dipped her
Uh-huh.
down, and threw her back to Thomas. And
Woo!
the whole
Fire!
place was like,
Fire!
what? What was that? He actually hit her. So me and Gerardo, we thought, oh shoot, because Thomas and Curtis do karate. So, oh, there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
But Thomas said,
Wow.
no, man, no, she's my girlfriend, but she knew better than to get in Shabadoo's face. You know,
What?
if you're going to get in his face, you got to take what comes with it. We were like,
What?
what? No,
Wait a
you're
minute.
not
Wow.
going to defend your
He
girlfriend?
really slapped her for real? It wasn't a fake one like we do. It was a real one?
No, he
A
really
slap?
slapped her, forehanded, then he
Lord.
backhanded her.
That's
Oh my
And
God.
Pete,
crazy.
Pop and Pete,
Yeah.
every time I see him, we always talk about that night. About if we do a story about the Rhythm Lounge, it has to be about that night when Cat
Right.
gets introduced. Because, every Thursday, there'd be a
Yeah.
fight either between Chain Reaction and LA City Rockers, or
Yep.
Shabba and them and the Booyah
Yep.
Tribe, or the Booyah
Yep.
Tribe and LA City Rockers.
Mm.
And they always could become close to a fight, every Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was the most incredible night, the night Cat got introduced to LA.
You know what I
Yeah.
think about when I think about Shabadoo? I think about the move he does with his hands in his, and the knees up and knees. What is that
Yeah, yeah,
called?
yeah, yeah.
That
Oh
I
yeah,
move?
know
yeah, yeah.
exactly what she's talking
That
Marvin
about.
does it.
one with the
Marvin's
knees
doing it
come
last
up.
night. Do it, Marvin.
That
I
move, because
love
he's
that.
so freaking flexible. His knees were all the way up to his ears, guys. You
It
know what I
looks,
mean?
yeah, it
Oh,
looks
the which
effortless.
ways? Which
I
ways?
tried to learn that, but no,
But one thing,
it
Do the pumpkin move,
didn't look
Marvin.
hold
right.
on. One thing I have to say about Shab, people don't know about Shab that no one knows is he took care of his mother like no tomorrow.
Oh my God, he loved his mother.
Shab,
Oh man, right?
at,
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
before he died, he went and saw her because she had dementia really bad. He said, Marvin, I want you to
And
see.
she had caught COVID
Oh,
too. Remember,
Yeah,
and he was freaking out about it.
bless
yeah.
his
He
heart.
said, Marvin, see, mommy, because she like my mother too.
You know that
Yeah.
he is not forgotten, never will be.
That's right.
Always remembered in
And
a
the same for
beautiful
Cat
light.
and her family as
Um,
well.
and I want to step over real quickly. I know Shrimp is not here, but we're going to give our thoughts on Taco, on Bruno.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
my
this
guy
brother,
right there.
because he is one of the baddest and the finest, and I don't know anybody like him, and he
Yeah.
was special to me. And the
Mm-hmm.
quick thing I want to say real quickly about Bruno was like he was my brother
Yeah.
for real, like a
True.
brother,
Yeah.
and he as a person was just naturally always smiling.
Yeah.
No matter what he was going through, he would always smile. You know that smile, you guys. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
Of
like,
course, yeah.
what are you doing? And he'd be up to something, you know what I mean? But always just like a brother. And I just can't speak enough on how down to earth he was,
Yeah.
despite the heights that he went through to,
Yep.
through
Yeah.
the entertainment industry. And I'm going to turn it over to somebody else, but he has my heart. So, Patrick or Marvin, please,
Yeah, I'll
somebody say
start.
something about Bruno.
Oh,
Well, Bruno for me was the inspiration and the
Yeah.
Oh,
loveliest guy. And we would do
yeah.
the talent contests together and stuff. And I mean, he was just so cool, man. I'd go pick him up and we'd meet Gerardo or whoever was Jazzy. And he was always, and the cool thing about Bruno, like Marvin, like myself, like
Mm-hmm.
Diane, is we were always neutral. So I was
Yeah.
friends with everybody, LA City Rockers, the
Mhm.
Booyah Tribe,
Oh
Shabadoo and
yeah.
them. You name it, I was friends with everybody. They were fighting each
Mm-hmm.
other, but and
Right.
Taco was allowed to be friends with everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
A force of his
that,
own.
yeah, that's what's so awesome. And Marvin's the same way.
Yep.
Boogaloo Shrimp's the same way.
I said Bruno was always willing to teach people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He tried to teach me, and I
Yes.
was like, oh God.
Always, always.
Yes.
Always.
I mean, every time I looked up, he was on film teaching somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Film, yeah,
he
always. Yeah.
in that famous garage.
Yep.
You
yeah.
know,
I got
Bruno
to hang out with
also
him in
hooked.
New York while he was
Yeah.
Michael would take him on the road with him. This is
Mm-hmm.
not during the concerts, and he put
Mm-hmm.
Bruno in a hotel room. And Michael be in New York for like 3 months, and poor Bruno, was all by himself. So he would come
Oh,
down to my nights in New York, and I would go meet him. He would show me all the videos what him and Michael filmed that day, what they
yeah,
filmed the
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
day before, and
That's awesome. I remember one time I saw him after he
Mm-hmm.
got with Michael, and it was in a nightclub. And do you know what he was wearing, y'all? A
What?
freaking trench coat all the way down to the ground, made out of rubber.
yeah, yeah, very nice.
Rubber.
Blackwood.
Okay, love
Blackwood.
it, love it.
What?
Yeah, he moved in that direction
I was
after a
like,
while.
what
Yeah.
are you wearing? I want it. Man,
Okay.
it's hard to capture it all, the feeling of that a person makes you feel when you're in their presence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And his was total love. That's all I have to
yeah.
say. And
Mm-hmm.
I thank God that I know his sister, Eileen Pena.
Yeah.
I mean, coolest chick ever.
Wow.
Coolest
Love
chick ever.
her.
I never met her, you guys, because we were always out doing something, Bruno and I. But when I
Yeah.
met her, it was just like family automatically, like, okay, my
Yeah.
sister,
Yeah.
But thank goodness she's still pushing his image. She's pushing him and still upholding him. You know
Yep.
what
I
I
know
mean?
it's his
Somebody has
sister.
to,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's done too many great things. And we want
Yeah.
to say
yeah.
thank you, Eileen. You're out there. I asked you to be on the show. So we will do another show with shrimp, with Boogaloo Shrimp, and we have to give props to Bruno Taco for just gracing us with his presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Love you, Boogie.
Good to see you, Marvin and Patrick.
You too, Diane.
Bye,
Everybody.
Diane. Love you, sweetie.